Hello, everyone. We are back for another Tuesday on this beloved stream to tier some things, put some hot takes out there, irritate you, make you happy. Anything goes on this stream, and you know this, I know this, and most certainly my guest today been new about this. I brought an expert in to talk all things chocolate, someone very sweet, someone that I appreciate a lot. It's Allie. Allie, how are you doing today?
Well, yeah, you're just the nicest. I misunderstood the ask. When I heard tier list, I thought it was people who don't cry, and then I thought this was the wrong invite. No, I'm thrilled. I'm sitting here with 1,000 chocolate bars in front of me. Do some eating, some reviewing the wrappers in real time. I'm excited. I've been watching you. This is killing me. I love that you're doing this stream. Happy to be here to hang out with you.
Yeah, I'm very happy as well. It's funny that you made the joke of tier list because when I first talked about doing this, the chat thought the same thing and then made fun of me for it and still call it tier list Tuesdays. That's a thing now.
I stole the joke from the chat.
Oh,
But
okay. So you've just straight up taken over the. Okay, I see what's
I'm
happening.
just stealing joke theft. It's a thing.
Speaking of the chat, if you guys would be nice to let me know if the audio is all good today. I've been tinkering a little bit, trying to figure it out, trying to hit the right balance here. So just let me know if that's all good, and otherwise we'll continue here because we have a lot to talk about. We have 23 items of chocolate. So it's either chocolate bars or it's a little bit of just a regular chocolate thing. We have a couple like random ones in there, so we'll see.
I'm hearing from the chat that I'm loud, which is nothing new. But let me know if I've moved the mic if it's helpful.
Yeah, this was an issue. This has been an issue with me on doing Zoom, but it's not you. It's just the audio was loud. So
Okay, I've heard it's better. I'm loud and tinny. That's it. That's me. Sorry. Loud and tinny.
I'm quiet. Well, the problem is that unless I put the mic, oh, now it's all good. That's great. Oh, okay. Thank you, chat. Thank you. The actual issue was fixed. Okay, thank you, Daquan. We did talk about that. And I think that was the problem we had. It's all sorted. Everything's all good. We move forward. So, Allie, what we're gonna do now is talk about the tiers that I made for today. So you know
So
this.
excited.
We've talked about this. So obviously the bottom of the tiers, we discussed this, and you wanted, and we ended up putting Bingham is back, and Bingham is at the bottom because over here, if we don't like something, we bin them. We just get rid of them. So that's what I'm about, okay? Then you said for the middle tier, you would like, it's just chips to come back. Well, we made it, it's just chocolate chips. So
Perfect.
that's back for the middle. Fourth tier, we've got chocolater fam, because we don't want that. Later, you can go away. It doesn't matter. You're not that important, but we're not going to put you in the bin. Just shoot. Get out of here. So that's that. Number two, the man himself, the person responsible for Chocolate Rain, it's Tay Day. It's great.
So amazing.
It's a classic. But it's not upper echelon because if it was, Tay Day would still be around and doing things, giving us, Chocolate Rain 5 or whatever. We're not there yet. And then last but not least, it's Chef Hershey's Kiss is what I've deemed the best of the best here.
You're the comedic genius of our time, Puya. This is so great. You know this, but for the stream or for the chat, whoever's watching this, I died at It's Just Chips. Like, I've been thinking about It's Just Chips, and it makes me laugh, like, out loud when I think about it. So I was like, we got to bring It's Just chocolate chips. The rest, I mean, far exceeded any of my expectations. So I am just chef's kiss. It's amazing.
That's right. Thank you so much, Allie. Yeah, I asked Liana. I was like, "Hey, Liana, I need the first and second tier. Do you have any suggestions?" And she said Chocotastic, and I kicked her out the room and did it myself. So you can tell.
See,
Yeah.
another voice of our generation. I thought you were going to say Liana came up with the top two, and I was going to be like, that checks out. But
Yeah. No. If we were talking about what's the latest trends in science, Liana would mop the floor with me. Dumb puns and jokes. That's my alley. And you are our Allie for being here as a guest. Look at that. That's perfect.
I'm honored. I'm so excited. This is going to be so great. It
So-
already is so great.
Yeah. So the way I've been doing this is I've sent you the final list. You sent me a bunch. I sent you a bunch. We have the final list. I've been going in turns with the guests, and we just nominate one, and then we start talking about it, and then we'll just figure out where it's gonna go. So,
I
yeah,
watch.
oh, of course, of course. If you would like to do the honors,
Let me
go
pull
ahead
up
and
my
make the
list.
first pick for here for the start here.
Okay, so I should say that Puya sent me a list with a bunch of international, like Canadian brands I've not heard of. So I do not have those in front of me. I've never had them. There's going to be some first time trying experiences for me because I bought some things I've never had. But I'm going to have to rely on Puya to explain some of these. I'm certainly not starting there. I'm going to make a controversial first pick because I
Ooh,
have to come in hot, Puya. I have
of
to come in
course,
here.
it's
Also, I
customary.
will be wiping them because I didn't have time to individually wipe everything when I came back. I am in New York. This is critical no matter where you are. Okay, these are food safe wipes. I mean, they
Cool.
have everything now. All right, I am starting with my absolute favorite candy.
Okay,
I
damn.
don't indulge in it often because it is a little bit she, if you will.
Okay,
It is, I don't know how to pronounce them, Ferrero Rocher.
that's how I
And
pronounce them.
I think it's going to be controversial here. I've already seen somebody say some S in the chat. I'm not here for that. But let's talk about these little balls.
Yes, so these little they come in threes, to my knowledge, or you get the big box if you're really fancy and you're at your auntie's house and you're just sneaking away with them. That's how I did it. I was like, I'd take two and then I'd walk away and then everyone would go to like to the living room and then I'd come back and be like, "Hello, old friend," and I'd take a couple more.
I
But
have some
no,
sentimental attachments to these and some
yeah,
others. So I love that. That like rings totally true. My grandma used to get a big box
yeah,
and hide them. And when I was a kid, I would like run in and try to find them. And oh, what a luxury.
so good. Yeah, these were. I know these were like when you meant like these are kind of elite because my parents never bought them. I
Oh,
only ever
absolutely
got
not.
to have them at other people's houses. That was the fun part.
They're a vacation chocolate.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't your home base. This isn't your regular standby. It's also, I'd like to say, when I started grocery shopping for myself, like as an adult, no longer got these for my grandma. It's definitely like a dark day grocery store. Like, oh, you see them in the checkout, and you're like, maybe I'll get three of those.
Yeah.
One like once in a while. Um, I love that. Would they be if this was chocolate bars like you originally invited me to? I would
Hmm.
not be putting these in, but since it's chocolate, I feel like it belongs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. The reason I changed it to chocolate last second was because there were a couple that I wanted included, and Ferrero Rocher was one of them. We're never gonna end up in a position where we're like, okay, like I'm not gonna do another one for just like other chocolates that aren't bars, because I feel like that would be harder hair to split. I feel like this would be the best way to go about it. I believe Daquan in the chat asked what's the right way to consume these.
I was just gonna ask you that.
For me, this is a one bite pony. Like it's a one hit wonder. You
What?
take yeah you open it, you take it, you chew it, you move on to the next one.
This isn't a shot, Puya. You know, take it. You enjoy it. So there's a couple ways, and what I like about the three is you can mix it up. So I think the first one I will traditionally do the half bite. You have to bite and make sure the hazelnut's there. So for anyone who's not had these, right? I don't know how much in depth we have to go in. It's
As much as you
essentially
want.
a hazelnut surrounded by a sphere of a Nutella type product,
Yeah,
surrounded by a chocolate wafer, surrounded by chocolate and hazelnut crunchy mix.
yeah,
I say you bite in it 2 bites in the first one, so you see the hazelnut suspended in the chocolatey goodness. And then the second one, get a little messy with it. You let your child hit out, and you bite off in private only. You bite off the chocolate coating to be left with the wafer sphere. Then you pop that baby, and then the last one, maybe you one bite that one.
See, like, the way you're describing it, first of all, the chat
Sounds
loves it.
disgusting.
Most of the chat's with you. No, no, no. Most of the chat's actually with you. That you are consuming this as a I have three of them, so I need to like enjoy my time with them. If I had these, they're gone. They are gone. I will. Spoiler alert: Liana, she finished the milk and she had to go replace my milk today. And this was an hour before the stream went live. And she was like, "Do you want any chocolate for 10?" I was like, "Sure, surprise me." So she got me Snickers. She got me fun size Snickers because there was more of them for cheaper. It's a whole thing.
I
There were six of them. I have one left. They're gone. They're gone already. And like the first four went in like the first 3 minutes. Like I do not, look at it, enjoy it. I should. Like I do that with burgers, but with chocolate, especially if it's bite size, I'm like, it's a one hit, like a shot. But
Are
I
you the
think
same? Oh, sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
I think that Liana didn't eat them all. There's one right here. See, if you want it, I'll leave it over here at the side of the table. You can have it. It might not be here in 20 minutes. But yeah, I mean, I don't take my time with it. It's a one hitter for me with the Ferrero, and I like it that way because it's also light on the bite. It's not like the Snickers. Actually, it has like a little bit of a, because of the caramel. It's got a bit of it holds you down a little bit, so it takes a longer time. I can't just do one bite on that even.
Tougher mouth feel.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just
like
quick on it.
no, I mean I get it. I'm like very weird. Like I will do that with like a savory item, like and it's just chips or French fries. But and this I can have like I made a candy bar blondie. Actually, the source of my whole "Am I a baker? Am I not a baker?" when I was on with Rob, comes from I made these candy bar blondies, and I still have a bag of bite-sized Milky Way that I have not tapped back into. Unclear why I still bought the full bar, but I don't know. I wanted to. I felt like maybe it would be a different experience.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, though. We talk about the bite size. Sometimes I believe this is my belief. They taste different than the regular size. They just do. I don't know if it's like a thing in my head. I don't know if it's like a placebo thing. They hit different. So I fully subscribe to, if you prefer the bigger size and you didn't have that, you should get that.
Shout out to Liana on Drag Race. It's proportionizing. I mean, it's just there's like a different ratio of all of the items. All right, I've already Puya, you're gonna be on with me for 6 hours because I'm gonna talk about each one like it's like the only one we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
But so do I put something up and then you like is
So
that what I'm gonna do or do you put it on because I raised it?
So you propose where you want to put it, and then I propose where I want to put it, and then we'll find a medium, or we're gonna end up agreeing, and we end up easy picking.
All right, well that makes me want to aim super high so that at least it. You were like this with the chips. Like for me, it's at least Tay Day. For my personal life, it's Chef's Hershey's Kiss. But I probably, if we're speaking for the people overall, I feel like it's a Tay Day. It's not like the most iconic chocolate.
Yeah, like with Phil with the chips we talked about at a party, like what's there. I feel like if we do kind of the same thing with like if everyone's stopping at their corner store on the way home to grab a chocolate bar, what are they getting? They're probably not many people are going to go for the Ferrero. So I'm willing to put it at Tay Day for now, and then as we get further in, if it's looking like, you know what, there's a clear, we both like Chef's Kiss enough to put it up there, that's where Ferrero goes.
But from the party though, if this is at the party,
It's gone.
who's passing that up?
Yeah.
But I agree, it's not your like drugstore purchase or like.
Right.
But I will say, you and Phil T put Funyuns as a must go at the party. No party I've seen, but
Because they're gone before you're there, Allie. That's the beauty of the Funyun.
I arrive early. Does any part
Oh.
about me seem like I arrive cool to a party?
Oh,
I'm setting up.
I'm Persianably late all the time. I show up like a cool hour and a half late or later, and then I just slide into the party and they're like, "Oh, Puya's here." It's like, that's right, it's me.
All right, so I'm happy with this at Tay Day. I actually, against my own, like this isn't it's not just our personal opinions, right? So I feel like if I were to say like we're ranking chocolate, it would probably be miscast as Chef's Kiss. So I feel
Yeah.
good about it at Tay Day.
Yeah, I feel the same. If I was like, not looking into like everybody and I'm doing personal, this is up there for me. But I'm trying to account for what I believe to be like a healthy medium, even though the chat knows that I have had some opinions that they have not agreed with. RIP to the shoestring fries that ended up in Binham last week. Okay, so next is my turn. So I will say, you mentioned there's a couple here that you don't really know, that you're going to rely on my description to tell you. There's a couple on your side that you gave me that I also do not know, and we'll do the same thing. We started strong. I want to find out what your opinion is on these. So I'm going to nominate them, and then I'm going to immediately ask your opinion first.
Okay.
After 8 mint thins.
So I was trying to figure out when you said these, which item would be at these. So I will say, don't expect me to not have an opinion on items I have not had before. But this
Same.
is one of them. I have never had an after. I'd never heard of After Eight. I googled it, I understand it to be sort of like an Andes mint, kind of like in the York family. It's like a mint. Is that correct?
I do not know what those words were. I'm not sure.
Oh, you don't
Um,
know what? So it's like, wait,
yeah.
okay, you tell me what an after eight mint is, and then I
So
will,
so it's
or not mint, after eight is.
after 8. So these are deceiving. Okay, so first I would like to say I'm making it clear, bin 'em. I hate these. I don't like mint in my chocolate in any way. I don't like mint chocolate chip. I don't like that ice cream, any of it. So my story for these, I was a young boy, wee boy, and I don't remember whose house I went to, but I probably did not enjoy myself. I was offered chocolates, and I was like, yes, dude, look at me. I would love a chocolate bar. Give me. And then they gave me these, and I opened one, and it looked delicious. I bit into it, and I was like, this is like that feeling of I just brushed my teeth and I bit into chocolate. It was awful. I don't like it. So it's basically mint and chocolate put together. Someone in the chat said they are kind of like a York peppermint patty. Does that ring any bells? Because that I don't know what that means.
So from my research, like there's a couple mint candies I am familiar with.
Okay.
I want to. I assume maybe you'll do ice cream at some point. I want to put in a take. My brother loves mint chocolate chip ice cream,
Mm-hmm.
and this has nothing to do with it, but I just think it's a great take that mint chocolate chip ice cream is not mint chocolate chip unless it's green to rebel against like the fancy mint chocolate chip that's not artificial flavors. I'm just putting that out there for so it's here to your audience.
Yeah.
Okay. I really like junior mints, but not before the check gets on me. Not because not every day, but I'm a big theater nut. It's my theater snack. I don't know why. Like a movie theater or show or play. Like I love junior mints. Do you not know what junior mints are? Is that
No, but I'm googling it as we speak to see
okay?
what it is.
It's a small, basically M&M, but with peppermint filling. You would not like it based on what you're saying to me, but that's
What?
also a York peppermint patty is just like a large junior mint. I also
Mm-hmm.
enjoy those, but the
Okay.
mint is more subtle than. But if you don't, I don't like mint ice cream,
Mm-hmm.
and these mints, which are more of. I thought the after eight was like an after dinner like mint play, which is more of a mint like chocolate and more together than I would say a junior mint is, and those I think are gross. So I'll bin these because I've never had them. Bin them if I haven't had them.
Benham. Okay, cool. Yeah, because like the problem being, I haven't tried the other ones to know if it's the same mint ratio, right? Because if that's the thing is like some things can be way more minty or more chocolatey depending on which direction you're going with them. I remember looking at the list, and this has been the problem the last 3 weeks too, where I look at the list and I'm like, I love all of these. I need something that I'm very passionate about binning. So for
I'm
me,
here for that, and I'm excited that you put it in and that you're putting those right in the bin.
right in the bin. Okay, Ali, it's your turn.
Also,
Your
Jade
turn.
Lucifer shouted out the Seinfeld episode. I was going to do that too with Junior Mints, but if we're just base level Junior Mint talk, we can't really get to the pop culture references yet. But I like the shout out in the chat. All right, I want to try something now that
Okay.
I've never had, and I'm also going to go sentimental. Father's Day weekend coming up. This is actually not chocolate. Is this our only non-chocolate item that we have in the can? Because it started as candy bars, and I threw in paydays, which I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
There's no chocolate in a payday, and I have never had a payday because so when I went trick-or-treating as a kid, I would never pick out a payday,
Right.
like it's peanuts and caramel. As a kid, like no chocolate, no time.
Right.
Um,
It's a good slogan.
but payday was my dad's favorite candy, and you
Okay.
only got one or two of those trick-or-treating in my area. So I would always give them to him. So I have yet in my life to have a payday. And I couldn't find, I went to two locations to get these chocolates.
Oh
The
my
first
god.
location, they only had a bag of them.
Oh.
I bought those. So I better like them. But then I went to 7-Eleven and they had a bar, but I had already bought the bag. Okay, who cares? Let's get started.
Let's
Tell me
do
what
this.
you think about paydays while I open this up.
I have never had them. But what I
Okay.
did was so there's a very extensive Wikipedia page that describes all of the candies that are here. So
Love
I
that.
read the description and I was sold. I was like, this sounds like a slam dunk. I like the combination. I know there's no chocolate, but I could vibe with this. I could really vibe with this. Obviously, if you added chocolate, I feel like it's an elite top tier kind of situation. But it doesn't sound bad to me. You know, it does not sound bad to me. It does look like the more economical of the chocolates, but can't be bad. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it could be bad. So I'm excited
Okay,
for
I'm
you to.
smelling it.
Yes.
I feel like I'm Padma. It smells definitely like peanut buttery. It's an impractical candy bar. You know, it's not gonna have the melting chocolate fingers problem, but it's basically just a bunch of peanuts
It's gonna
jammed
flick
into a
all
piece
over
of
the floor.
caramel.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it like I can't tell if it's gonna be chewy or if it's gonna be dry.
That's something I've often wondered. Because I thought the peanuts were inside. Really, the peanuts are just a coating.
Oh my god, is the inside just all caramel?
It's just a piece of like sort of
Wow, okay.
crumbly caramel. It's not just like a Snickers. Like you're not gonna have that like mushy moment.
Mm,
It's definitely like altered in texture in some way. And it's got full peanut crunch. I like the texture. We're gonna have a lot of texture conversations today.
all about that.
It's definitely good. I know why my dad liked these because he was just a big fan of peanuts. He would buy a lot of like peanuts in the shells, whatever. So
Yeah.
if you're a peanut fan, great. For me, it's just chocolate chips.
Even though there's no chocolate in it. So that's the thing, right? So I feel like I've seen a couple comments. A lot of people are like bit 'em. Some people, like someone mentioned,
It's not Binum. It's if you like peanuts and caramel, it's not.
yeah.
It's
What?
much worse than a Snickers, but it's not Binum.
Right. It sounds like if you just throw a little bit of chocolate on there, this is kind of on the Snickers level, is what I'm getting. Right. It's not like Snickers is like higher
I'm
up,
eating it.
most likely. Right. And that's the thing. You're eating it. It's good. You're not putting it in the bin. I'm willing to put it in the. It's just chocolate. If we end up having the ones we actually like and we know, and we push those up, that can come down. I'm very okay with that being a candidate for getting brought down to chocolate later, fam. But as
You
long
know,
as you're enjoying it, I feel like this is where it belongs.
it's probably it's right on the line between and it's just chocolate chips and chocolater fam.
Mm,
I think you're right that we should compare it to the field
yeah.
and see where we're at right now. It's definitely middle of the road to what we've had. But if I'm looking at the rest of what I have on my table, which is not the full list, I would reach for one of these before I would reach for that. So maybe it will ultimately get bumped down, but I'm gonna finish this.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and that to me, that's enough of a proof that it's worth at least something. So I'll hold it to that. And I think that for now, anything that ends up in as chocolate more likely is going to end up above it. So it'll end up being on the bottom of it. But we'll just have to keep going to see.
and look, guys, the chat, I could literally bin it. I have the option to bin it, and I'm not binning it, so it's not getting bin. It can't get binned. I'm not binning it.
We paydays are okay. That's where we're
These
at.
are okay.
They're okay. Okay, so let's go. Okay, I've talked about the mint. I want to go with one that like I feel like we'll probably be all be on the same page. It's like an easy one to talk about. Let's talk about Kit Kats. Let's talk about Kit Kats. I feel like so.
Wipe it down. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So here's the thing with Kit Kats, right? I feel like in the variety pack, they're always the go-to for me. As a big Snickers fan, I would still go for the Kit Kats first because I knew more people liked the Kit Kat. So if I ate those and then the Snickers are left, no one's really gonna touch those, and I can have those too. I was very greedy with my thoughts, but that's how I thought about them. I mean, they're lighter to me. I like the crunch they offer. I like that they ended up having a chunky. That ended up being a great call, in my opinion. And
Wait,
then
rewind. What's a
a
chunky?
Kit Kat chunky is it's like a trapezoid, like a Pizza Hut logo Kit Kat bar, but it's thicker. It's got a little bit of weight to it. So
Okay.
yeah, it's like if you were looking at the Kit Kat chunky next to the Kit Kat regular, you'd be like, "Damn, that's a thick ass Kit Kat." So that's where it would be. It's just a good combination ratio of all the stuff. I will say they have a lot. It's kind of gone the way of the Oreo, where there's so many flavors. I've just not tried them. I've not tried any of the other ones. I've stuck with the original slash the chunky, and that's about it. I like it, but I also recognize at the older I've gotten that it's not been my top choice for a long time. I don't really go after it. If it's available, I'll take it every now and then, but I've never been like, I would like a Kit Kat right now. So,
Here's what I like about Kit Kats. I think actually the Kit Kat is one of the occasions where the mini is better. Where so you know, regular Kit Kat, you get the 4 longer sticks, and the mini
Mm.
you get 2 sort of shorter ones.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's where Kit Kat lives. Like that's how it should be sold. I mean, that wouldn't make any sense, but I like it because it's like you can get a candy bar. Like if I'm gonna compare it to the Nutrageous, which I can't wait to talk about,
Yeah.
like this is more reasonable. Like this is ridiculous to buy and eat. No shame to the people who are buying and eating this. Like I bought one, but like a Kit Kat is like your everyday candy bar. It's your.
I did not know that.
Is there anything we can do about it?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh, we're back.
Okay, good.
All right, we're back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Okay. No, that's
So
good.
you were so I don't think that's crazy. I think that's definitely standard. I will admit to once again in my lonesome eating the chocolate off the wafer first. If you've ever broken into one of these, it's pretty fun to check out. Anyway, no one cares about how weird I am. I will say Kit Kat. I think it's kind of Tazon. I think it inches out above some of the others that will sort of fall together, like your Milky Way, your Three Musketeers. Like I think a Kit Kat is sort of far and away one of the top tier candy bars. For me, it's not a chef's kiss.
Yeah. I also feel like I agree with that. I feel like if this is gonna be a situation where at the end I'm totally gonna end up asking to move Ferrero up because I feel like Kit Kat and Ferrero can't be on the same level. It is impressive to me that you take the chocolate off first and leave the wafer. I feel
Not
like
always, so once in a while, in a mini, you know, just
yeah, I feel like chicken nuggets kind of was the same thing for me. I can't do that anymore. I can't. I try. What was it with We got Oreos this weekend, and I tried to like take out the filling first, and then keep the cookie, and then dunk that in the milk. And I was like, I feel like either there was more filling before, or it was more satisfying to do this before because it wasn't my thing. I was like, I would rather just eat this Oreo as is.
I've had a conversation. I know with Mike Bloom and Liana. I assume it was the B&B and not the draft. But I've had this conversation about this with Liana. It is very funny that we're here now to have this conversation together. But yeah, I don't do it often, but sometimes, especially if you have the bags with the minis, like the singles, the
Mm-hmm.
chocolate is thicker on the sides than it is at the top. So you can bite the sides off and then the top just kind of comes off. All
Oh.
right. Sorry,
Okay.
everyone, to really get into this.
So, to sum up for those of you who got disconnected, we're back. Everything's good. Kit Kat is going into Tazon Day for now. For now, we'll see what happens. Okay, we'll see what happens. And now I believe that brings the ball back into your court for the next nomination.
Okay. Um, you know what? I think we should maybe talk about these two together. Is that allowed? Can I
Oh,
propose two?
absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Let's talk about
The
sister,
Hershey's.
sister, the Hershey's. I would like to say I should have put this on my list and I didn't. Hershey's with almonds, I feel like should at least be a part of our conversation, even though it won't be on the tier list officially. So
Okay.
these to me are the big three. I passed in 7-Eleven the Hershey's like gold with pretzels and no, the big three to me are Hershey's, cookies and cream, and then Hershey's with almonds.
Okay. So, I like both. It's very easy to like. I enjoy them. They were both of them. I hadn't really experienced much in Dubai. They ended up being they came around later, and in Dubai, other candies were more prominent. So that being said, the Hershey's Kisses were the only like real Hershey thing that I saw around for the most part. And then Hershey's cookies and cream just snuck up on me, and I tried it, and then it was one of those things where I tried it and it was my new love, and now this was what I was getting every time for like months, and then I enjoyed it. I will say the flavor I enjoyed. My problem was the bite. I didn't like the texture much. I didn't like the chocolate, the way the chocolate was like these little pebbles. I wasn't a fan of that a lot. Yeah, that. I didn't. I love the flavor, but the bite was not satisfying to me. That being said, it didn't stop me from getting it because I wanted my cookies and cream in a chocolate bar, and that's what I got.
Another gross eating thing I can tell you about these is if you let it melt in your mouth and then you're left with just the cookie crumbs. It's stupid. You shouldn't eat it like that, but sometimes I do. Okay. Um, I think similarly. I think people sort of sleep on her chocolate bars. Like I feel like I've only ever bought this for s'mores. Um,
Yeah.
or you have the small 4 bar in a trick or treat situation, then you eat it. It's chocolate. It's good.
Right.
To me, this is sort of the epitome of it's just chocolate chips.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a staple. It's there for you. It's got your back, but like it's just chocolate.
Right.
Cookies and cream, I agree. I think it's like the next level. You're like, wow, maybe you don't like white chocolate, but it's really good. Like to me, I always get excited when I see one of these. Again, I don't buy candy bars for myself often, but if I did, I probably would reach for this. I feel like it's just like a delight. It has
Yeah.
childhood nostalgia for me, which I understand because it didn't reach you till late. But to me, this is like really inching close to Chef's Kiss just based on like vibe alone. I
Mm-hmm.
know that would be controversial, but this is
Yeah.
one of the ones I've had that I'm gonna eat, even though I've had it already.
Right. Yeah. So that's the thing. So for me, I'm about to make a Pokemon analogy. So the
Let's do it.
regular milk chocolate Hershey is like a Charmander. It's a starter Pokemon. It's a regular Pokemon. It's beloved. Why wouldn't you love Charmander? It's a good time. Then you get the evolution, the next phase. You get the Charmeleon in the cookies and cream, and you're like, damn. That's interesting. I didn't think they were gonna make it better, but they somehow did. But then also some people will be like, well, I would rather a Charizard if I'm not gonna have Charmander, so I don't need this middle. So I'm not about this. That's why I feel like it's a more divided situation.
Hmm.
Ultimately, I like it. I think I don't know if I'm willing to chef kiss it yet. I'm willing to have the discussion down the line, but I would want to put it above Kit Kat regular in the Tay zone for now, if that's down. If you're down with that.
I think that's good. I would, if it were me, I would put this at Chef's Kiss. But I agree with what you're proposing. I'm not offended by it. My question though is, what's the Charizard if this is Charmeleon?
I
There
don't
is none.
know. I don't know if it exists yet. Maybe it's a thing that we're waiting for. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's a milk chocolate. I don't know. I don't know because the next thing I'm gonna nominate, we're gonna kind of stay in the same lane. So actually, before we go there, just to give a quick snippet, Daquan, if you can put a poll up of what people think of white chocolate, please and thank you, because we'll get there. We're about to get there.
I
Um,
want to say a quick plug for Hershey's with almonds because I think to me that's the Charmeleon, and then the Hershey's cookies and cream is the next iteration.
so
Because
okay,
to me, the if you've had a Hershey's with almonds, like I would always reach for that before this. It's like thicker and it doesn't have notches, which I like the notches, but it doesn't have them.
yeah,
Sorry, I dropped my list. And it's good. It adds like a little texture. I feel like texture is going to be a theme today for me. But so shout out to Hershey's with almonds. I forgot about you on the list, but I'm gonna back cookies and cream here
okay.
as we go into the home later on.
So milk chocolate Hershey's is in it's just chocolate chips at the moment, and then cookies and cream we're putting here, and we'll see where that goes. And to the chat, I would like to say we will get to a point where I'm going to give you a vote to move something up or down. So we'll get there. So if you're really not feeling some of these, you'll get your moment. Trust me, you'll get your moment. Okay, so then, like I said, I want to talk about some white chocolate. I want to talk about the Milky Bar, which I believe you've never experienced this phenomenon.
No, and it feels like a miss to me as far as the name, but the more
What?
you say it, maybe the more I'm adapting to it.
I genuinely thought that the Milky Way was the same as a Milky Bar. So anytime Milky Way came up, I'm like, oh, I love that. And then I found out that it's not the same, and it's a different thing. It's white chocolate, and I was like, oh. Milky Bars were a staple in my childhood, but like after age 7, I never saw them again. They were like there, and then they were gone. But I still think about it. I still think
The
about it from time
trauma,
to time.
the
Yeah,
trauma.
yeah. I don't know what happened to it. It just vanished. It was weird. I didn't get it. So I don't know. That being said, I'm a fan of white chocolate. I know that a lot of people don't like it. When I asked Leon about the tier, she said, "Oh, do you have one for the bottom tier?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, I was gonna suggest do white chocolate, but you like white chocolate." I'm like, "Yeah, don't diss me like that." I've also tried white hot chocolate, and that's a good time. I still prefer regular hot chocolate ultimately, but I'll have the white chocolate too. I don't mind, you know. So with all this being said, with all my rambling being said, it's not special. It's either you like white chocolate or you don't, and at that point, it's like the Hershey's milk chocolate of a white chocolate bar. It's just meh.
So it's just a white chocolate bar.
That's it. No like
Okay.
big
The name
anything going on
fits.
with it. Right,
It's a
exactly.
milky bar.
Yeah. So with all my rambling, what do you think? What's your opinion on white chocolate regular?
Look, I think a lot of people bin white chocolate. I obviously think white chocolate has a time and a place based on my backing of the cookies and cream.
Mm.
Do I see myself eating just a pure bar of white chocolate? No. Am I baking with white chocolate chips on occasion? Have I had white hot chocolate? Yes. Good on that. For me, based on your description, but I will 100% defer to you because I don't have the childhood nostalgia here. I think that could maybe give it a boost. I would put it in what is it, chocolater fam. Like I would have it, but would I reach for it? No. Could you convince me it goes higher? Absolutely.
If I went to the store right now and they had it, I would get it, but it's because I'm like, wait, where have you been for the last 14 years? 14?
Yep.
No, hell no. I'm really like making myself seem younger. Where have you been for the last 21 years if it was 7? So, damn. Yeah, but I do think this is the first to induct in the chocolator just because if we're looking at like a holistic, I think more people are not a fan, and ultimately it's just a basic white chocolate bar. So it's not really amazing. It's not going to jump off the page. I think it averages it out to the chocolator fam, and I think that's a good place to put it.
And I think that speaks to like you would buy it for nostalgia, like that sort of, I feel like that fits right. Like you'd
Yeah.
buy it one more time to have it. Would you keep going back? Maybe not.
Yeah, most likely not. Most likely not. But yeah, that was my when so just a little bit of background for people. I sent my so Ali sent me her list so I could start adding all the pictures, and then I updated the list with the ones I added, and I sent it back, and in all caps I got Milky Bar question mark. What is this? So
Because I thought you also might have been confused. Like I truly was like, I put Milky Way. What's the confusion?
yeah.
But then I Googled it because I realized I have the internet at my fingertips and don't need to rely on you to tell me these things.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah.
Cause I when I googled Milky Way, I was picturing Milky Bar in my head. So when I went to get the picture, I'm like, wait, this isn't what I remember it being. And then I went and found it on the wiki page. So Daquan put out the question of white chocolate question mark. Actually, 13 people voted yes and 9 voted no. So hey, chat, welcome to my world. We
Hey,
we have
chat.
fun up here. It's a good time. Okay. All right. We went through the Milky Bar. It's your turn for the next one in the rotation.
So let's stay in the vein of chocolate, not to be confused with it's just chocolate chips. And let's talk about Dove milk chocolate. I have
Yes.
I don't know if it comes in a bigger bar. This is all I could find. Another one I had to buy a big bag of. I'm not upset.
Hmm.
I haven't had a Dove milk chocolate in a long time.
Hmm.
But I feel like Dove actually was sort of like new on the scene. Like it had a real resurgence in my, or like a surgence. No, it surged in my life in popularity. It's melting already. Because it's hot in my apartment. Nothing about the quality of chocolate. Chocolate melts. But it definitely emerged with more popularity. I feel like Dove had really good branding and like it had the like quotes inside and it was like a luxury, like an elevated chocolate moment. But let me hear your thoughts while I eat this because I don't really remember.
So in Dubai, we didn't have Dove. We had the exact same chocolate, but it was branded as Galaxy. And I loved Galaxy
Ooh.
growing up. Galaxy was my favorite. Milk chocolate is my favorite overall. So I had a soft spot for Galaxy, and then I moved to Canada, and it wasn't there anymore. I didn't know where Galaxy was anymore. I didn't, I missed it. And then my sister moved to Canada, and she was like, "Hey, so Dove is Galaxy," and I'm like, "Oh no way!" And I looked at it, I'm like, "Oh, it's the same kind of packaging. I see it." Tried it, loved it. It's the same as it always was. It's just rich milk chocolatey goodness. It's like in between a fancy chocolate and a regular old Hershey's. Dove is in the middle of them, just coasting along, doing its thing.
I totally agree with that. It's delicious. I'm happy to have a bag of these around the house.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I agree because we're not sort of in the like luxury chocolate area. Like we're not having like a dive or whatever else like Lint would be. Um, like I wonder what Dove's place is amidst the field we have because we've sort of Dove is a little bit out of place, maybe surprisingly more so than Ferrero Rocher even, because to me this is one of the better quality chocolates of like if you were to compare it with like what is coated like the coating chocolate used in these candy bars, like this is much better chocolate. It's much more delicious than that. But if you're comparing it to like a Reese's, it's such a different product that it's hard. Um, so
I
I
think
feel like Dove, like you said, would be more of like a it's just chocolate or a Tay Day if we were comparing it to like chocolate brands.
mhm.
But for me, I feel like this is delicious. This is like a Tay Day for sure for me. If you wanted to put it up to the top, I would be okay with that too.
So yeah, I think I agree with Days Brady in the chat who says regular Dove is better than regular Hershey's. That being said, I think it's definitely in the Tazon Day zone, and then I would want to put it above Kit Kat at the very least. I think that's where I would leave it for now.
Let me get another taste of this
Okay.
cookies and cream. See, I couldn't do this half-ass. Not that you're doing it half-ass, but for me, I need the like.
Yeah, no, you are the first guest on the tier list to really go all out and do live tasting as we go along too. So I appreciate
Well,
that
it's
a lot.
part of why on this one I wanted one I could have. God forbid I had to order 15 orders of French fries to my apartment. I would have. It would have been horrible. Um, it's such a different. I mean, this to me could go toe to toe with all of the three that are the other two that are above Kit Kat. I agree, it's definitely above Kit Kat. I think it's sort of like it's definitely in the mix of the other two.
Yeah. Okay, let's put it here, right behind Hershey's for now. I do like Wedgebrow's comment. He says Dove branding throws me. Soap and chocolate. They're not the same company, but they have the same name, which is not great. Cause I mean, one cleans your body, the other one cleans your soul. So it's kind of in the same market, if you ask me. But what do I know? I'm just a lowly former bagelman. Okay, all right. You did you throw out Dove? You threw out Dove.
I threw out Dove. I threw
Okay.
out Dove.
Okay, let's
But I
talk.
didn't throw out Dove. I did not
No, you
bin
didn't bin
Dove.
him.
I threw it out.
You nominated him. Okay, let's talk about because I want to talk about this brand in particular now that I live in the U.S. Let's talk about the Kinder Bueno bar. So I learned that. Well, I learned this when I started dating Liana that you guys don't really have Kinder Surprises here. You have Kinder Joys, which I mean, they're not really a joy, to be honest with you. I mean, I understand the dangers of swallowing a toy is not great, but damn, that's nostalgia right there. Kinder Surprise.
Okay, I need to Wikipedia this because I have only started to notice Kinder in this one market that I have to shop in because of Corona.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like sort of like a more unique chocolate section than your regular supermarket would.
Right, right, right.
So which product? But I didn't have time to get there today, and the local Dwayne Reed and 7-Eleven did not have this, but they had the egg. What's the egg? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so the Kinder Surprise used to come, and in the chat was mentioned Wonder Balls were kind of the same, where it was chocolate, and then inside was the little like capsule with the toy in it. So that's what it was. Kinder was the one who kind of started that, put it on the map, and then I believe because of the choking hazard, they got removed in the states. Not like the whole company, just those, and they got replaced with what's called Kinder Joys now, which have like they still have a kind of the same chocolate outer, but then there's like an inside, like there's some kind of sweet filling inside on a little spoon that you get. It's still great. I still enjoy it, right? But the Kinder Bueno is their chocolate bar version of this. And it is the perfect combination of all the things mentioned. It's light, it's got crunch, it's a little crispy, it's got the good chocolate. It comes in two, it gives you two bars, and honestly, I could eat one bar and I'd be satisfied, and then I'm like, oh wait, there's a whole other one. It's really good. I really like it. There's nostalgia involved with Kinder, obviously for me, but then I just feel like it's one of those things that has stood the test of time for me. I will still, if I'm at a store, I would still, this would be in the top three consideration for me more often than not, probably.
So I can't tell you. Oops, sorry, me just trying to pick things up here on the stream. I had a Kinder product for the first time recently. I said I was in the market I shop in,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm only in there because of Corona. Obviously, it was a dark time. I was like, what's this? I've heard of Kinder. Not going to get a cream filled egg. That's just not my life. But
Same.
I got a bar and it had I'm like Googling it. It had the ridges, but it was just one of them. And it was hazelnut for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if I had this because I remember thinking, oh, dang,
Yeah,
this is amazing.
I'm pretty sure they have. If it's Kinder, it's the same makeup. It's the same makeup. I've seen it
Yeah.
as two, and I've also seen it as a singular. So, yeah, there you have it. Yeah.
So I will follow your lead here. I embraced the one that I had. It was delicious. I didn't have the chance to have it here, but it was, what's to say? It was really good.
I mean, it's in the name. It's bueno. So I think it's gotta be in the Tay zone at the very least for now. And I would put it above the Hershey's cookies and cream. That's where I would put it.
Yeah, sure. Drop
Yeah.
it behind the Ferrero Rocher.
Boom.
That's fine with me.
All right, I'm surprised we haven't hit a chef's kiss yet, but we'll get there. We'll get
I
there.
tried.
I know, and I was like, no, let's not do that right away. And then now I'm like, okay, you know what? It looks like it's going to be upper echelon. That's all.
You're right. You can't, but you're right. If you put it up, it's hard to knock it down. It's like once
Yeah.
you've plopped that there, it's like, do you want to take away the chef's kiss?
Yeah. So I want to answer some of the questions the chat's putting out there. So there's a lot of people asking about where's Crunch Bars. Crunch Bars didn't end up making it just because we.
Where's Crunch Bars? You say,
Well,
chat?
Ali's already got you. Listen, Ali's on another level of prepared. It wasn't even on the list. Ali's gonna give you an honorable mention, and we're gonna talk about it. So that's there. Cadbury wasn't put in because I wasn't sure if Cadbury has, like the reach.
Oh,
They do. You know what?
what?
Why am I hosting this? Ali, can you make a Twitch stream and take over this? Because I am ill prepared. This is not great.
No, I'm dying. I actually agree. So, okay, I bought this because I had never seen it before, and I was like, if Puya's coming with all this candy I've never heard of, I'm gonna like show up with something random. I said I had some surprises. A Crunch Bar I picked up because I couldn't find the M&M bar that we're gonna talk about, even though I've had that, so from memory. But
Okay.
I look, there's nothing. I agree with you that this doesn't really belong. Like, what's to say about a Crunch Bar that we're not gonna say about a lot of these items? I brought it because Bunch of Crunch is a superior product, but it doesn't really fit the bill here today. So
What's a bunch
it's a
of
tribute to
crunch?
Bunch of Crunch. Sorry.
What's a bunch of crunch?
Um,
What's a bunch of crunch?
Don't come here to shame me. Don't
it's
do
over.
that.
Sounds amazing.
Bunch
Well-
of Crunch is a box of Kuya, if you were to sort of like melt this down or break it up, crunch it up, if you will,
Okay.
it would be like little like orbs, like little like crumbs, but like I'm explaining it wrong. Okay, it's like if you took the crispy rice and then wrapped chocolate around it and just made like a little like chunk. They're just little like chunks. It's sort of like M&Ms, but misshapen Crunch Bar pieces.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I could fuck with this. This looks good.
So people love it because it's great at a movie. Also, the quantity is there. Like you pour that, and it seems like it goes on forever. You pass it down to your friends, it comes back with like somehow the same volume. Like it definitely stretches.
Yeah.
And people like putting it in their popcorn. That's not for me, but
Like,
people like doing that. So
To
it's sort
eat
of like
them
an M&M.
simultaneously.
You've never seen people like to put like M&Ms in their popcorn or Bunch Crunch because it kind of melts and it makes it sort of like sweet, savory,
Oh.
salty.
No.
It's not for me.
Wow.
But-
I do like a good caramel popcorn at like a fancy theater, a movie theater, but for the sweetness. But I've never done the chocolate and the popcorn together. I mean, it's because I
yeah.
don't buy chocolate at the theater because personally, I don't like the taste of soda and chocolate together. I don't know if that's a normal thing, but
I'm not a big soda drinker, but I feel that. I just think it's like Bunch of Crunch is a great snack. You should try it. Seems like you and Liana have to work that out.
Liana, make
but
the list, please. Make the list. I know you're watching. Thank you. Okay.
But I think a Crunch Bar, like, I understand why people are saying it in the chat. It's one of the classics, but has it ever been my favorite? No. So I didn't put it on the list, and I bought it mostly just as a gag.
And I mean, we have it now, so we have it over here. Okay, so then, did we end up picking something? I feel like we.
I thought we were supposed to answer questions from the chat,
Oh,
but then I
we
didn't
were.
be quiet.
No, it's all good. It's all good. No, but basically, the chat is asking. So just to give them a backstory, because like these loyal folks have been coming through 3 weeks in a row for the tier list, and they have a lot of questions like, why isn't this here? it ends up getting to a point where once I've hit about 25 items, I'm hesitant to add another because it's like, damn, if we're trying to get out of here in 2 hours, there's no way that's going to happen. So at some point, I'm sure we'll end up having a 4 hour tier list Tuesday, and everyone's going to be like, okay, enough. We don't need to talk about everything. But it's like, it's kind of like keeping it on like a tight 25 items is where that's at. That being said, love Cadbury chocolates, all of them for the most part. Except for the fruits and nuts one. I don't like that one. But that's just, I don't like fruits in my chocolate. So, yeah. That's where we're at with this.
Also, I don't shut up, so we haven't even gotten through, like, we haven't even, like, really cracked the list in the first hour, so sorry about that.
No, we've gone through 9. We've gone through 9. We went through a stream disconnection at one point. So we're keeping it, we're living. We're doing well. Oh, Jordan of the West, we'll get to that. Trust me. That was new for me.
What did he say?
What even is Coffee Crisp? Which I
Great question, Jordan. Great question.
Yeah. Shall we talk about Coffee Crisp? Is it time?
Please, because I have no idea what the heck it is.
Boom. Okay, so Coffee Crisp is a Canadian, I wouldn't say staple, I don't want to misrepresent, but it is only in Canada. I learned this through doing my little checky checks. It is a staple in Canada, and it is great. It's crunchy. If you're a fan of coffee, it has a small hint of coffee. I'm not a fan of coffee chocolate, but I like the Coffee Crisp. It's just a good bite to it. I feel like if I was having this with a cup of coffee in the morning, I'm not mad at it. But I'm also like, being like probably not doing the right thing, having a chocolate bar in the morning, but I wouldn't be mad at it. It's got good crispy crunch to it. It's wafer like, but it's also coffee, touch of coffee. It's great. It's only in Canada. Shout out to my roommate who put me on this because he was big on it. And then
I thought you meant Liana. Shout out to my roommate.
Shout out to my roommate who somehow got to this before I did. Never lived in Canada. No, it was my previous roommate who I wasn't dating. But what's it called? He used to have a bunch of these at home, and then his stock used to start plummeting because I fell onto them and I started eating them. So, yeah, they're great. They're great. If you're a fan of coffee, they're a good time. Shamus says I'm Canadian. It's not my fave. Yeah, I mean I know it's I don't know who it's for. I don't know if it's like, oh, if you like this, you'd like this. It came out of left field for me, and I was interested in them, and it was just a good crunch. Yeah.
I like this, Puya, because I'm learning that you are often surprised by chocolate. It came out of nowhere. It surprised me.
I'm constantly blindsided by chocolate. I'm like, whoa, this is what's going on here. I hated Maltesers growing up, and then one day I was like, oh shit, this is delicious. Maltesers for life now. So yeah.
What's a Malteser?
They are okay. So they're also similar to the Buncha Crunch based on what I saw, but probably less crunchy. If that makes sense. They're like in the middle of a Buncha Crunch and an M&M's. Like a peanut M&M's.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah. I can try and get the descriptor here. But based on what I did, okay, you Mariah carrying me now? Like really? We're gonna
I don't know her.
Edmo's gonna love this. He's gonna see this and he's gonna be tickled. So that's the thing. Let me see. I mean, I have a browser right here. Let's go Maltesers. Boom. Did I do that? I did that. Yeah, there. That is a Maltesers. So I don't know if that looks appealing to anybody, but
Where are you putting this?
I like it. It's in the stream. Should be in the stream at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, for me, when it comes to coffee flavored anything, I will drink an iced coffee, especially in the summer. I enjoy it. I'm not a huge coffee fan. I'm not like a tiramisu gal. I'm trying to think of any coffee flavored things I really like. My mom's a big coffee ice cream fan. That's never really been it for me. So I'll follow your lead. I like that you say you have it with a cup of coffee. That's interesting to me. To me, it sounds like it's a Binum, but Maltese. So that's like a Whopper.
Yeah, it is very similar to a Whopper.
Okay.
So
the chat's like a little delayed for me. This is like Zoom, so I just saw you put it up, even though I see you on our stream.
Yeah.
I really like Whoppers. I like malt stuff. So for me, coffee flavored product is not going to do it for me, but I like the picture you painted. I'm there with you. I'm dipping it into. I'm having it with coffee. I don't even like it, but I'm having it and I'm enjoying it. So To me, it sounds like a Benham, but I understand if it goes up a bit.
So I pulled up the coffee crisp description. It's alternating layers of vanilla wafer and a foamed coffee flavored soft candy covered with a milk chocolate outer layer.
Nothing sounds better than a foamed coffee.
Yeah, not gonna lie, read the description and the description was not great. So,
I
yeah.
like wafers. One of my favorite cookies are those like vanilla wafer, like it's like a Kit Kat but with coffee but bigger. But I like those cookies. Like so, I like the wafer style
Hmm.
that hits me where I live. The coffee flavor is going to be a Benham for me, but
All right.
I
Um,
understand.
permission to put it in. Where? Let's go back to the tier list. Chocolater fam. Can we put it there? I'm not. I don't want to bin them.
I fully support you
Okay.
despite every effort. This is your show.
So if you were in a matrix situation and they presented you with a Milky Bar and a coffee crisp, what would you reach out for?
100% Milky Bar because I
All right.
really coffee flavor. Despite the fact that I don't drink coffee every day. I'm more of a tea gal.
Uh huh.
Um, but I drink coffee enough that I like it now. But I just don't like the dessert.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, I know like coffee flavored cake is not my thing. And like coffee, anything else I don't like, but coffee crisp I can mess with. And I think it's because the coffee taste isn't there as much.
Oh, so maybe I'd like. All right, so I
Yeah.
feel good about the Chocolater fan.
Yeah, okay, we'll leave it there. Okay, and then let's go with one that I was fooled, in my opinion, into thinking was like a fancy thing, and then I was like, I don't really, whatever. Toblerone. Let's talk about Toblerones. What are your thoughts on Toblerones? How are you feeling about this?
Okay, I've never had a Toblerone, so this is gonna get
Ever?
opened. Ever.
Wow.
I can recall my mom maybe having it once, like in a hotel room or something. But like to me, okay, so here's what I was gonna say about Toblerone. Because I at first didn't think the Dwayne Reed had them. And
Mm-hmm.
then I walked down the candy aisle and there was a locked portion of the candy aisle. I had to ask someone for assistance to unlock. It's like my mom at the mini bar if I'm a kid, like, can I open it? And I was like, no, that's like $30. You can't open it. So it was, I see that someone said airport candy. Like, yeah, I definitely see
That.
like the giant Toblerone and the duty free.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a Toblerone is. So it's a Swiss milk chocolate with honey and almond nougat. Not a big nougat gal, gotta tell you in advance as I open this. The reason that I think Toblerone isn't Benham without tasting it is it does have that sort of like luxury factor that you feel like. I feel like if you're having a Toblerone, you're like on vacation. You're in the Alps, baby. Like there's something cool going on. I like the eatability of this. For anyone who also hasn't had, it's so hot in my apartment, everything's melted. This is disgusting. But for anyone who hasn't had a Toblerone, it's like these little mountains, so you can just open it. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Tell me what
They
you think about a Toblerone, Puya.
they look cool, right? So out the gate, presentation, it's different. So I like that. I'm a fan of that. It's a different geometric shape for a candy. Cool. That's all good. Um, they're okay, and that's the thing is like the way they treat them vaulted up, like you're at the store and you're about to get like you're in the fucking video game aisle and they've locked up all the video games. It doesn't need. It's not like I was fooled to think it was fancy. It isn't. It is airport candy because I know that it's been a thing in Friends where like Emily used to bring Ross the big Toblerone from the airport. I've seen it at like the carnival style places where there's the gigantic one that you can win. So like it's fun, but is it upper echelon? I don't think it's an upper echelon candy. I think it's misleading to look like a upper echelon candy.
James Alchemy said that it love it when it gets stuck in my teeth. I was gonna make a complaint about that. So now that I've had it, it's definitely better quality chocolate than some of these we're talking about. So it's like it tastes good, but
Mm-hmm.
I would take the Dove against it all day because I don't like. I'm not getting really the honey, but I don't like the nougat because it gets stuck in my teeth. It's like an annoyance. So um, like I'd probably been. I would not buy this again.
Yeah.
But for I do think it has its place in your mini bar. It actually is funny that you say you think it's fancy, but it's not. Like, yeah, this product cost me less than the bag of Payday, as it should. It's like a bag of candy, but that
Yeah.
wasn't locked. Like for some reason, this is like the exclusive.
Yeah.
Um,
No.
I think that fake exclusivity works for it. Like I feel like I don't feel like I can bin it, even though I don't like it.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Like it's like I would put it in chocolate later, fam, because honestly, I could get away with giving this to someone and getting more brownie points than giving them a Hershey bar because they would assume that it's better and it's more
Yeah.
fancy or whatever. So just for gift, like Wedgebrow says, Toblerone is all package, and that package is enough for me to keep it in Chocolate fam, probably underneath the Coffee Crisp, if I'm being honest.
I was gonna say the same thing because based on texture alone, I'd rather have the coffee crisp.
Yeah.
So sorry,
Yeah.
chocolater
Oh,
fam.
and
The
there's a
Toblerone.
silver one. Like there's the gold.
Ooh.
There's a silver one. I don't remember exactly what it is, but that had the weirdest texture in the bite. It was like similar to the cookies and cream, but not as great. Right? So
Okay.
not a fan of that. Let's talk about something else that I'm not a fan of because I don't like the texture, and I don't know if we're on the same boat here or this is another one kind of like white chocolate that could divide people. So, Daquan, get your fingers ready for a poll here.
I'm guessing.
Almond Joy,
Oh.
coconut based chocolate candy bars. What do you feel about these?
So I'm gonna open it, which means I've never had one. Even
Okay.
as a kid, when I got them, the poorhouse that gave them out, I never had it. It comes in, I'm learning, 2 pieces, so it's regardless, it's the bite size. I
Mm-hmm.
like that. That's smart manufacturing. Just throw two in.
And just make it
Um,
look like an actual like a whole candy bar.
I like coconut. I don't love like candy usually. I
Mm-hmm.
have negative feelings about almond joy, despite the fact that I think it's probably necessary to be here. Tell me what you think about it while I eat this rudely on camera.
I just so the texture of coconut I don't like. It kind of reminds me of sand. Like if you've ever gotten a mouthful of sand, awful. It gives me the same. I hate it. I don't like the taste with chocolate. It's like I'm biting into it and then I'm done and I've like swallowed the bite, but there's still like that residue of like weird texture, and I don't like it. I understand that it's a thing that if you like it, you really like it. Like Liana's favorite chocolate that I get for her is the coconut one, and it's a fancy one. It's not even in the regular chocolate aisle. She's bougie. But anyways, I'm not a fan, and I know that people who like coconut based chocolates love coconut based chocolate, love coconut based things. But then like it's weird because then I really like coconut water. Like I really like coconut water. It's just it's just the texture, the crunch, the bite that I hate. So I just can't even deal.
So I just lived that experience as you described it 100%. Like you finish it and it's like still there. You bite into it. For any Jews out there, it's like it's a Passover macaroon kind of flavor. It's not terrible. If there was only this candy, I'd probably still eat it once in a while.
Hmm.
But to me, it's a binum because it's just like it's got Samoa upside. Like it's not the worst thing I've ever had,
Hmm.
but it doesn't like the Girl Scout cookie. But it doesn't have the cookie crunch, which I think is what you're talking. Like it needs sort of it's too much coconut texture. It could really benefit from being like a Twix style bar with like a cookie, then that like mushy sweet coconut.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the almond is there for, but it doesn't really do enough. I'm with you 100%. I'm going to turn my air conditioner to a little colder because everything is
Go for
melted.
it.
I will be right back.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Look at this chat. Almond Joy. Boom. Bit 'em. They're out of here. I would still take these over after 8 mints because I'm not trying to have mints. Like that's not. Don't fool me by giving me like like repackaged gum and try and pretend like because it has a bit of bite to it as chocolate. I'm not about that. So that's why Almond Joy is going to take over the After Eight, and After Eight still remains the bottom of the bin. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And
Did
then
people are giving a shout out to Mounds, which is the dark chocolate no almond iteration. I can't imagine that. I mean, I've never had it, so I'm not gonna crap on it. But like, I can't
Mounds.
imagine without the textural element.
Okay.
Um,
So these I'm pulling up the photos now. So that's what it kind of dark chocolate and coconut. Not gonna lie, this makes it worse for me. If
it's
anything,
worse. It's worse.
like dark chocolate and coconut. Are you like? No, I've just yeah, I can't. No, chat. Like I love you. I appreciate you. You've been a real one. You've been with me on this journey. I can't mounds, but you mounts because we balance everything out,
I
right? If
can't
you
Mounds.
mounts, the mounds stay, and then the mounds are there, and you can have the mounds, but then I can have my thing, and then we're not eating each other's thing, and it works out well, and everyone's happy. So
It's nice to hear someone be nice to their audience. That's not how I react when people disagree with me on my podcast, but this is an inspiration. I like, you want to mounds if you want to mounds.
yeah,
We're not moundsing here.
no, mounds and mounds we go. Talking about the mounds. Okay, is it? I forget. But at this point, I'm starting to forget who's. You go ahead.
Let me put one up. Okay, yeah. So I have two that I want to have a texture conversation about.
Okay.
I'm gonna put up the one that I thought. I thought we were on the same wavelength. We were though, because I agreed with you on Almond Joy. But this is one that I think gets thrown in to sort of the big three chocolate bars with Milky Way and Snickers. But I, for the life of me, have no idea what it's doing there. This is a Three Musketeers bar.
Yes. So
this was on the list, right? I think
it was on the list. It was, okay. You added it onto the list. This is one that I haven't had. But
okay, let's break it down.
Yeah, in reading through, it sounds similar to other chocolate bars I've had. With that being said, it doesn't entice me, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. Because I have also heard about Three Musketeers bar through many shows that I've watched growing up. So I've always been like, oh, it's elusive. I've never tried it. But yeah. So let's see. Candy bar consisting of chocolate-covered, fluffy, whipped nougat. It is virtually identical to the global Milky Way bar and similar to the American version Milky Way bar, only smaller minus the caramel. So it's just no caramel Milky Way. Yeah.
That ain't it, fam. That ain't it. You know, I could see enjoying this. It's not for me. It's sweet. It's chewy. Mm-hmm. If people like that a Toblerone gets stuck in your teeth, it's not as aggressive, but it's still got that sort of like mouthfeel. For me, it's just like, where are the peanuts? Where's the salty? Where's the cookie crunch? I wanna mix it up a bit. And to me, this is just sort of like the ugly stepsister of the Milky Way Snickers kind of trifecta. So shout out to Three Musketeers for living up to its name, for being the third musketeer in that crowd. But for me, I'm not going to finish it.
Yeah.
I'm more likely to finish the Payday.
I mean, and that's crazy. Like, the Payday is still out here making a lasting impression. With the fact that it's called Three Musketeers and I can't see a third ingredient, like, what is it? Chocolate covered, whipped nougat, and disappointment? Because that's what I'm getting. Like, what's the third ingredient? There's no caramel in it, because that would be a Milky Way. So, sorry, but you seem like you're okay. And by okay, I mean, if they're out of literally everything else, I'll take it. If it's being handed out to me, I'll take it. If it's a bite-sized Halloween candy and I'm out of all the other candies, I'll take it. So
that's 100% accurate. Like, I traded it because people like I had friends when I was younger who liked it, and I would trade them for it. So that has value to me, but I would still eat it, and especially in bite-sized form, it would be fine. Daquan wrote in the chat, does Allie not like nougat? No, I feel like I'm on record. I don't love nougat, but this is not totally offensive. So maybe it's not a Bennett, but it's probably the back end, probably above Toblerone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Back end of the Choco.
I'm willing to put it there, if not just because of Heiser's description that it's a chill mouthfeel and it's like lo-fi hip-hop beats to study to. Shout out to that YouTube page that just never stops playing music. Okay, we'll put it here. We'll put it just above.
That's actually fair. It's sort of like Old Reliable. Like, again, like if it's like someone, if I were in someone's like office or whatever, and like in my, I don't know, I'm acting like I don't, like have a place. I forget, honestly. It's like been so long. It's like I where my office is my home. But if I found myself in an office after quarantine and someone had sort of like candy out and I had a lingering like afternoon sweet craving, I'd hit one of these, like a small one.
Yeah.
But so I like that sort of, it's that whatever, what was it, the hip hop,
the lo-fi hip hop beats.
That like feels right to study too. Like, it's the background noise of candy.
Yeah, I love that. Also, take care, Willow. Have a good night. Just before I wonder if that message got there before she left. She wanted the chat to put up a good fight for Twix. Let's just talk about Twix then, right here, right now.
What fight is to have about Twix?
I mean, this is a well-known figure in the chocolate community. It is always been there. It has the weirdest
Staple.
commercials. I feel like the branding lost itself at one point. It was like left Twix versus right Twix, and I was like, "Don't
Still
lie to me."
happening.
Right? It's the
These are
same.
two right Twix.
It's the same, right? It can't be different. It's the same, right? It's the same.
You're
Tell me.
sounding like you're asking
Yeah,
if it's
I
different.
really am because it's been a minute since I've had a Twix, but like it can't be different.
No, I mean, it's sort of like the Skittles commercials that are just sort of like wild and weird. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not an expert, but I feel like if you're thinking about it, it works. Like a Twix is just sort of like trying to get you to have the urge to go to a store and buy a Twix.
I mean, it works.
But I agree. It's like
Yeah.
it's silly. It's goofy. It's candy. A Twix to me is a top five candy bar. Like if I were to just, in fairness, it's for us to like be able to talk through each one and have made a list. If you had just asked me if we were playing like categories or trivia, it's like at what are top five candy bars?
It's there.
I would be like Twix is 100% on that list.
Yeah. I would like to take a quick pause and address Doom Tribe, who says Twix is a cookie, not a candy bar. What?
The time for what's a candy bar debate. Okay, so I actually got in a fight with someone
Oh, what?
in preparation for this because I asked him for his help when I was making the list when this was going to be candy bars.
Mhm.
Now I will say I put Twix on there, but I think it's worth a conversation. And he was like Reese's, and I was like, Reese's is not a candy bar. The candy bar version of a Reese's is an outrageous or a fast break or whatever.
Mhm.
But a Reese's cup is a cup. It's not. It's a candy. It's not a candy bar. And he got mad at me because he thought I was being a jerk, and I'm like, I just have opinions. Sorry, but I digress. I think the Twix thing is interesting, but luckily here we're saying chocolate. So we talked about Ferrero Rocher, or whatever. We could talk about Twix.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I feel like there's a lot of ones we've talked about here that might not even, count as chocolate, let alone chocolate bar. So
Okay.
let Twix let Twix do its thing. Is mashed potato fries? It isn't, but we ranked it last week.
Want your head to explode? Who asked this? Doom Tribe. I love how
Yeah.
you said. I'd like to take a moment to address Doom Tribe. Did you ever think you would say that?
No.
Cookie bar.
Ooh.
Split the
Okay.
difference. Split the
It's
difference.
half of it. It's halfway there. It's a bar, but it's not chocolate. It's cookie. So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Um, I think Twix might be in the running to be the first of the Chef's Kiss, albeit probably the lower end of Chef's Kiss, not like the top two of Chef's Kiss, if there ends up being three of them. But I think it just the likability, the availability, the fact that it's still out there, it's still doing its thing. I think it ends up being considered for a Chef's Kiss conversation.
So I think it's Chef's Kiss, and I definitely think it gets an advantage from just reputation. It's like reputational advantage for Twix. If I were to
Mhm.
have it in a blind, I mean, Twix is the original for the Seinfeld fans. If you're still in the chat, the original candy bar lineup, which was the inspo for me to actually have the candy bar lineup here today. They were all Twix, but like. Twix is great. The cookie itself is actually really good. So I was going to say, how do you eat a Twix? But we've already established I'm the weirdo on this podcast or this stream.
Do you de-chocolate the Twix as well?
Occasionally, I think I eat one sort of like as is. You probably eat it in 2 bites. I think it's probably a 4 or 5 biter.
It's a four biter, sometimes five if I'm lucky.
But I think you are doing a disservice to yourself if you have never eaten the caramel off the top and then just eaten the cookie. It's a very good cookie.
Okay. Have you ever had the Twix ice cream bar?
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. The fact that I think having your own ice cream bar kind of helps your case, personally. That being said, my sister was the big Twix fan, and I was the big Snickers fan. So those when we got our candies brought, like when my mom came back from the store, and if she got us candy, she had a Twix, I had a Snickers. But I never hated Snickers, and I'm not about to now. So I think sorry, Twix. So Twix ends up being in the Chef's Kiss. We're gonna put it there. You know what? I didn't think Twix was gonna be the first one, but there you go.
The other thing to say about Twix, and this sort of goes to Kit Kat too, is like and maybe this is unpopular, but like it would be tough for me to eat this giant ass baby Ruth. Like I wouldn't enjoy it after a few bites. Is like a start to finish enjoyable candy bar experience. Like I would finish both of those and like not even think about it.
Yeah,
Even a Snickers, which we'll talk about, she thick. She thick. It's hard.
yeah. Snickers got hips. So, actually, yeah, let's just talk about it. Let's talk about Snickers next because they're kind of, to me, they're in the same boat on name recognition, on likability, on availability. They were across the board in every. Granted, I've not visited many, but I've visited 3 different continents. It's been in all three, widely available. I think like Twix, Kit Kat, and Snickers I've seen everywhere I've gone. Toblerone at every airport I've ever gone. So that being said, I think Snickers is great. I enjoy it. I do agree it's a more heavier candy. It's got a little bit more bite to it, a little bit more weight to it, packs a more of a punch, but it's delicious. So I could never have two. If Snickers came in twos, I couldn't have two. I'd be the guy wrapping it up, putting it back in the fridge, and then having it in 15 minutes. But still, like I'd have to put it away because it's a bit of work, but it's amazing, and I love it. And like somebody in the chat,
Yeah.
Philippe saying it, Wedge Brow saying it low key could like you could have it and then you're good. You don't have to immediately eat. Which, by the way, Liana, your food's getting cold. I don't know if you needed to know this, but I made you your dinner already. It's sitting here. I don't know if you're being nice, waiting not to use the microwave, but if you gotta eat, you gotta eat. But yeah, but yeah. So what do you think about Snickers?
Maybe if you hadn't eaten all the Snickers, she could grab a Snicker. Hungry, why wait? Grab a Snickers.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. This is the first Snickers I've bought in a long time, like the full size. I'm definitely more of a bite-sized gal I
Hmm.
feel like they come around often. Like you get the opportunity to have a Snickers pretty frequently, especially if you were in like school. So like there's always sort of like a bowl of Snickers around. Definitely a top tier Halloween candy get. The bar, I'm not opening this because I can't see eating the whole thing, but I think there's like I would absolutely eat a bite-sized one or a couple of them now. What's impressive to me about Snickers, it's one of the only products that could completely have its brand name bumped off for its advertising. It says
Yes.
Satisfies and not Snickers. And like, that's amazing. Like, you know what it is. I didn't even notice it till I at home. Definitely a strong brand, strong candy bar. I think it could go behind Twix in the top. I mean, I don't want to just like throw it out, but I think for me, it's definitely a top tier candy bar.
Yeah. I mean, look at the picture I've drawn up here. I've seen a lot of these where like they just put whatever they want on it. Cranky, confused, feisty, goofball. I've never seen Drama Mama. That would be very funny to give somebody. But the commercials were funny to me too. Like the whole like, oh, you're angry, have this. You're probably hungry. Like this will work. It's a good time. It's a good time. I've had different iterations of it, and it's always been great. I've had one where I feel like every chocolate kind of does this thing where they're like, here's a peanut butter flavored one, or like a coating one, and that's good. Actually, Jay just said in the chat, Snickers tastes good with peanut butter. There you go. It's very great. I love it. I appreciate it, and it doesn't need its name on there for you to know that it's great. So I want to put this up in the what was our top tier called, the Chef Hershey's
Chef's,
Kiss. Boom.
I'm down with that.
Done. What are you more of a Twix over Snickers?
I'm a Twix over Snickers
Okay.
just because in terms of like eatability. Like I just think Twix in its all forms, the full 2 bars or the bite size, it goes both ways. I don't feel like the full Snickers has the same desirability as the bite size Snickers. So
Okay.
that's why I think Twix is better.
So, okay, how about this? Let's give this will be the first opportunity for the chat. Break this, decide which one is top because I think me and Ali are going to be divided. I think I'm Snickers, she's Twix. So, put it in there, put your opinion in there. Either Dick you put up a vote or just chat, blurt it out, type it out, and we'll talk about that. But then we'll just go ahead and nominate the next one, Ali, while they're doing this.
All right. Why not make it more complicated, I think, at the top
Okay.
potentially? Let's talk about Reese's.
Oh, this is yeah. Okay, so here's right off the bat. I think this goes up to Chef's Kiss. I know it's going into Chef's Kiss. This is one of the reasons why I've changed the bars out of the chocolate talk. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Look, a Reese's is like guaranteed to fight over it when they have the one cup as the bite size in the Halloween candy bowl. That's gone. You have the set a party. That's gone. Reese's has spun off into so many products. So we're going to talk about the Nutrageous, but before the Dwayne Reed I was at didn't have Nutrageous, and I saw this outrageous Reese's Pieces, and so I bought that. But then I found this. I had to get this. So it's like that. There's a fast break. There's the big cup. There's the cup with the Reese's
Oh, the
Pieces. There's
big
Reese's
cup.
Pieces.
Yeah.
Reese's is just like beyond a brand. Like it's beyond a candy.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenon. They make their own peanut butter product. Like
They have their own
Reese's.
cereal.
It's cereal. I just think like Reese's is beloved by all except for those folks who have peanut allergies.
Yeah.
The minis are good. It's the rare candy where I feel like the all versions, the king size, the big cup, the mini, the regular, it all hits. So
It's
I
beautiful.
probably put it at a top of the top tier.
Yeah. If
That's
Leon,
basic. I know it's a basic take.
it's true though, and like here's the thing: if Leon was watching, I'd probably shed a tear right now just thinking about how beautiful this Reese's cup is. Like this is amazing. There's so many good positive memories with this. This was one of the candies where when I moved here, I let it be known to friends that I hadn't tried, and they made me buy some that night to have
Wow.
immediately. And I was like, "Oh, I see why you made me go out in the cold to get this. This was worth every bit of frostbite warning that we ignored to get this. This was a good time." So, yeah, I think that's up there. I believe the chat ended up leaning towards Twix. So, we'll just leave
Boom.
Twix in second and we'll move on from that. It's cool. I think these are the top 3 anyway, so it works out for the moment. Um yeah, and here's the thing, right, Ali? You've had Reese's, and you told me that you were only gonna open the ones you hadn't tried. I'm sure you're gonna want to open the Reese's, like surely.
So that's interesting. I think it's because I've had a lot of candy today
If we,
that
yeah,
more
if
I
we
haven't
went,
tried.
yeah, if we started with that, you probably would have had it by now.
100%. And
Yeah,
I had Reese's. So I said that I hadn't touched the Milky Ways. I also had Reese's and those candy bar blondies, and those extra Reese's are long gone. So that doesn't just sit around the house.
yeah. No, not at all. Not at all. We have a strict no junk food in the house rule because, like the Snickers that are, Liana, this is garbage now. Like it's all gone. It just will not stand. I can't handle it. Okay. Let's see. I want to talk about O. Henry. I would like to
Go
talk about
ahead,
O.
because I have
Henry.
nothing to say about. I don't know
Oh,
anything about O. Henry except for Seinfeld.
so O. Henry is very interesting to me. So it kind of combines. Let me look at the photo so I can tell you exactly what it is. It has a Snickers feel to it, but it's more payday in the sense that it's got peanuts. So you got like your Snickers combination with your payday, and then they have a peanut butter one that kind of adds the Reese's to it because it is a collaboration with Reese's. So that's how that happens. And then when you add all of that, they made a version for stoners that was called the Reese's O. Henry 425, and that was with hella more peanuts, and they were all just so good. O. Henry to me is kind of in the middle of all of these things. It's like a combination platter of all the things I like. So this is like a chef's kiss moment, but it will not be in chef's kiss because I know it's not a globally recognized situation.
What's interesting about O. Henry is if I had to do some sort of like challenge of like write all the candy bars you could write in like 5 minutes or like a baseball stadium challenge, like name 40 seconds name, O. Henry would come to mind. Like I know O. Henry, it's in
Hmm.
my brain. I have never had it or had occasion to have it. So
Yeah.
I defer to you on the O. Henry candy bar. I think you're right. Like not everybody would know what it is taste wise, but
Yeah.
I support your vibes on
Yeah,
this.
no, I mean, the description is candy bar with peanuts, caramel, fudge coated in chocolate. Like, So it's literally, it hits all the points. It hits all the points. At one point, this ended up taking over Snickers for me. It is in the same vein as the Snickers, where this is a thick chocolate. This is a meal type chocolate. Like this is
She thick.
yeah, it's an event. Like if I had one of these, that's my snack. Like we're good. We don't need anything else supplementing it. So I want to put it. Okay, so here's what I want to do right here, right now. I want to move Ferrero up. It's time. We've been through most of them. Ferrero's still up there in my
Wow.
mind. I want Ferrero up here, dancing with the well knowns, and then I want to put O. Henry here. I want to put O. Henry in the top three of the Tazon days. Chocolate rain with these. That's where I want it. What do you think? Do you want to move it down a little bit, or are you okay and satisfied with where it is?
You were putting number one of the Tazon Day.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
A
Or
candy bar
Kinder.
I have never had.
Or Kinder. Well, where do you want this to go? Would you put it here?
I mean, I'm willing to lay off the cookies and cream as a top,
Okay.
but it's hard for me to say, oh, Henry's better than that. But you described it well.
Thanks.
And if I think a Snickers is better than or is higher up, but if I'm factoring in crowd appeal, does O. Henry have that crowd appeal that I tell you, if I brought this out, people would be happy to see it? Now, maybe it's not fair because people haven't had the O. Henry, so maybe it's objectively a better candy bar.
Mm-hmm.
But are we factoring in the hearts and minds of the people?
Right. That's the thing. I feel like if you're a fan of Snickers, seek it out, give it a try, and trust me when I say you'll love it. But that being said, because not many people are about that, not many people know about it, I would move it down. Now, in thinking about it, I'm passionate about it, but also like, if not everyone knows about it, it just sounds like gibberish. So let's put it here, okay? Let's put it here. Now, can we quickly talk about the more and more we've gone through this, the more and more I'm craving a Dove. I low-key want to revisit the Dove and move it up one. Like,
You're going to put Dove at the top, Chef's Kiss, Hershey's Kiss.
no. I want to move Dove above, in front of cookies and cream. Not that much higher.
That's where it goes to like, is Dove a tastier product?
Right.
Probably yes. But I feel like Dove is challenged by being compared. Like, it's almost unfair to compare Dove to this like it's hard. So if you were to tell me we were doing candy bars or chocolate bars, I would say this is better than Dove. But
Okay.
since Dove is here and we have changed it to chocolate, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm fine with going with you on that.
All right. So we'll do this for now, and then we can relook it in a sec.
But the chat's all like, oh yeah, Dove cookies and cream is valid. I agree. But like, do you guys understand where I'm coming from in terms of like, we're comparing it to like Nutrageous and Snickers, and it's like Dove is sort of just like, it just is a better quality chocolate.
Right. If
so
we
it's
got
sort of
like
boom, top.
yeah, if we got a milk chocolate of all of these, Dove would be there like with a good chance still. Whereas like Hershey's, we've talked about it being like basic. Okay, so
I love Hershey's. Listen, I love Hershey's.
I mean, it's like your first, right? That's kind of like the introduction to chocolate is Hershey's. It was Galaxy for me, but
I'm still eating the white chocolate one.
I've also never had s'mores though, so I've never had that experience.
Liana, I feel like she's in my house. Like, Liana, help me.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be introduced to s'mores at some point. We'll see when that happens, but I'll be sure to let everyone know how I feel about them. What I do want to talk about is the M&M bars real quick, because I had this because Liana told me to try it, and we tried it, and it was okay. Like low key, it was so okay that I wouldn't have minded if M&M didn't venture out into a bar. It was fine. Like I would have been okay with my peanut M&Ms living my life that way.
So here's what I like about the M&M bar.
Take care.
I saw this on your list, and I did not like. I had not thought of an M&M bar in decades. Like I have not seen an M&M bar in years, but I knew exactly what it was because I think actually maybe a hot take that mini M&Ms are the best M&Ms that you can have. And I like peanut M&Ms, I like regular M&Ms, I like peanut butter M&Ms. I'm not an M&Ms hater, but mini M&Ms
Mini M&Ms.
are so good because the ratio of shell coating to chocolate is better. So it's like crunchier. It's like they're the best M&Ms. And I'm pretty sure that's the size of the M&M and the M&M's bar. Can
Yeah,
you?
I believe so. I believe so.
That picture does not help you because that could just be
They
M&Ms.
all
But
look
yeah,
the
they used
same.
to come. They used to come in the canister. Now I've only seen them in the family size. I started
Yeah, they
having
used to be
M&Ms.
these, right? Like it might load in. It might come through in a sec. But they used to be in this little like tube thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But now I've only ever seen them in like the family size because and I've gotten them for when I was studying for finals in grad school, and I don't have them often, but that's the go-to M&M size. But it's like hard to commit to buying a share bag like that, especially in these times you can't really share. But so I think I remember the M&M's bars being sort of like a delight, but I haven't had it in my adult life, and I can't get it anywhere near me, which I feel like lowers it a bit.
Yeah.
Although I'm close to the M&M store, I doubt it's open. But in different times, I could have gone directly to the source. So if they didn't have it there,
Yeah.
they don't have it anywhere.
Yeah, I think that this was them trying to break into the candy bar scene, and they don't need to. It doesn't wow me. It doesn't, it's okay. It's not as good as a Hershey's bar, a Hershey milk chocolate. So definitely not.
Interesting.
And like, I would still prefer if I'm going for an M&M chocolate bar or a Payday. At this point, I would take a Payday, cause like I want the crunch, and the M&M's just okay. So for me, it's a chocolate later fam. Personally.
And my eyes are bad. So we have the cookie. I agree with you. So what do we have in there? We have the Toblerone in last. Then we have.
We have the
I
Three
don't even.
Musketeers, Coffee Crisp, and Milky Bar.
So I'll defer to you. I feel like it's probably for me above Toblerone and above Three Musketeers.
I accept. I agree. I feel the same way. Yeah, because like they're basic. We talked about the Three Musketeers being basic. We talked about Toblerone being fancy garbage. So I think in that and all that being considered, I would take an M&M over those ones, and I'm definitely taking it over the bottom two. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Liv said you could use them for wheels in a shoebox car.
So.
Oh, for the tubes. Okay, I was like, I don't know what Liv was talking about. Bless you. But
I am not cut out for a live medium.
No, everything's good. Everything's working out. I mean, this is I can't remember the last stream I did where Liana didn't walk out of the other room like the Kool-Aid man and ream me out for something random. So the live medium is built for shenanigans for sure. Okay. So I haven't tried 2 out of the 5 remaining ones.
Can we recap? Okay, so we have Milky Way, we have Nutrageous, we have Butterfinger, we have Baby Ruth. I have 2 extras I bought. I bought a whatchamacallit because that's like such a joke, but I've never had it. And I accidentally bought this Outrageous, but those are not on our list today. What's the last one?
So we have Milky Way, Mr.
Take
Good
5.
Bar, yeah, Take 5, Butterfinger, and a Mars bar.
Oh, wait, so we don't even have, did I make these up? Butterfinger's there. Milky Way is there.
Yes.
Nutrageous, I got on the list.
Nutrageous, you did have on the list. I believe this Take 5. Yeah, I had Nutrageous in my folder. Let me quickly look at this.
Have it written down.
Yeah, it was on there. Did I goof it by not getting the photo, or did the photo?
Okay, so I accidentally bought this double Baby Ruth that I have no interest in. That's out.
Okay. I didn't put it into the pictures at the end, so that's my bad. But Nutrageous is a Reese's thing, right?
Yeah, let's talk about Nutrageous if it's not going to go on the list. Here's why I felt passionate. I think it was like the first one I thought of for this because it's probably not well known. It probably falls into the category of like you've seen a bunch of Reese's products and it's like a trendy, like maybe it won't be there for now, forever. It's like a one time they're just trying something out. Nutrageous, I had my first Nutrageous when I was in 7th grade. I was at camp and my camp counselor bought one of these on like a trip on like the side
Okay.
at like a gas station or something. And he was like, I was like, can I try that? I like candy. Like, can I try that? And he said to me, and I will never forget this, I will let you try this, but I cannot be held responsible for what's going to happen after you've tried this. Because when you've tried this, you can't look away. Like, you can't go back. Like, once you've had an
Okay.
outrageous, I haven't had one in my adult life, but I've had it. I think I bought one for my dad once and told him the story, and he was like, "This is effing amazing,"
Mm,
because he likes paydays. So,
yeah.
an outrageous for the uninformed is peanut butter and caramel. So it's like peanut butter wrapped in caramel and peanuts, wrapped in chocolate,
Yeah.
and it's delicious.
Ali, this is an O. Henry bar. They're very similar in
There's no
everything.
fudge.
There's
This is
no
much more
fudge.
peanut butter.
Okay, I'm all for that. I love that. So that's already a win for me. And like this sounds amazing. And it has a backstory to it. I'm all about it.
So a nutrageous is like if somebody were like, "What's the best candy bar?" I wouldn't list it in the top five, and then I'd be like, "Oh shit, you know what the answer is? Nutrageous." And
Yeah.
that's sort of what happened when I made this list. But in terms, I mean, this is a king size, so like pretty ridiculous. And I guess they've also come out with the outrageous, which has Reese's Pieces in it. The difference, I compared it, and the difference is that there's no peanuts. So this is just a Reese's Pieces instead of peanuts, which I'm not about. I like the salty texture from the peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak highly enough about the Nutrageous, but I think it has the same drawbacks of the O. Henry in terms of lack of name recognition. Besides the Reese's, people don't really know what it is. So much so that you forgot to put it in,
Yeah.
and I think it's definitely got the Big Mama factor. That's like it's the whole dang meal. It's like
Yeah.
Rizzo. So I think to me, it's definitely Tezande, but I recommend it to all of you. If you've made it this far in the stream, you're a candy lover, so check it out and let me know what you think about it.
So that was Nutrageous, right? That's the one we don't have on here.
Yeah.
Based on everything you described, I would put it in Tezonde as well. It sounds very similar to the O. Henry bar, and especially specifically the O. Henry peanut butter one. So I'm all for that. I'm down with that. We didn't have that in Canada, but I'm assuming the O. Henry peanut butter collaboration with Reese's was them fulfilling that gap in the market. So I'm all for it. So I don't have an image for it, but let's pretend that boom, I put the Nutrageous right next to the O. Henry over at Tezonde.
Susan R 342 says, "Have you tried Reese's Sticks? If you like wafer type bars, cookies." So that's interesting. Reese's Sticks has never really hit right to me, as you said. Like it just it's different than this,
Yeah.
and not in a good way. It's like
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I don't know why it's not had the right flavor combinations. Like I don't know that I like the chocolate. Like the peanut butter isn't that like thick peanut butter that Reese's does. It's sort of like that like filling. I mean, look, I would have it.
I would still have it.
I
Exactly.
would still have it.
Yeah.
All of these candies, I would still have it.
Exactly. Yeah, like I don't like the pieces. I don't like them. That's not my chosen Reese's consumption method. I would rather be delivered Reese's in the cup form, and then I'll take a bar form, and then I guess I'll take a stick form, and then maybe I'll take a pieces form. But that's just
I like pieces in the right, like also maybe in a movie theater. I wouldn't buy them, but if my friend had them, I would definitely like put my hand out for a couple, and it would be like, oh, this is good. I think, but I prefer peanut butter M&Ms to Reese's Pieces because there's no
okay.
chocolate
Yeah.
in Reese's Pieces, which is a common misconception about them.
So the chat is asking for the whatchamacallit a lot. And since you have it, let's go there because I need to be educated on what a whatchamacallit is. Because I've never heard of this. And the fact that people are saying that the whatchamacallit is robbed and has to be here, I'm curious. So an impromptu addition into the mix, the whatchamacallit, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's disrobe this baby because
Yeah.
I've never had a whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
So I picked this up. It is made with chocolate, peanut flavored crisps, and caramel, which seems sort of butterfingery meets something else. I don't know. So let's try. Yeah, I've never had it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's see. Crisped rice candy
Oh,
bar. Peanut
okay.
flavored. Okay. This sounds great. What are you feeling?
Okay. Ooh. It's good. It definitely hits first with the rice cereal, kind of like a gourmet Rice Krispie treat, but it's softer for sure.
Okay, I like that.
And then it's got a peanut butter aftertaste. It's not like you're biting into like peanut butter. It's just kind of that rice texture flavor,
Okay.
but definite hits that peanut butter check mark. Here's the one negative, and it's not the candy bar's fault. It's my own crap. Is it sort of eats like a protein bar in terms
Mm.
of shape,
It
weight,
looks like
texture.
it. Yeah.
It looks and feels, and the peanut butter taste is that of like a lightly chocolate, it's very light chocolate coating,
Mm-hmm.
a lightly chocolate coated peanut butter flavored protein bar, and just that mental feeling is not. It's like messing with me, but it is really good. But just like mentally, I wouldn't reach for this again because I'd be like, oh, it's like healthy, and I don't want a
Yeah.
healthy bar.
Okay.
But it's good.
Yeah. Okay. Then, chat, you've done it again. You've introduced us to something new. This, when I first searched the image, did not look appealing. Read the description, heard the description, and I'm in for it. So I'm gonna write that down and look at it. Shames Alchemy says, Priya, you lived in Canada. Have you had a Wonder Bar? It's only in Canada and Germany. I have not had it, and I know that it's only in Canada and Germany. I never ended up trying it. When I go back, though, that's a different story. Doing this tier list stuff, gang, it's going to wake me up to trying out everything that I see now because I need to have an opinion on all of it. That's where I'm going with that. But yeah. Whatchamacallit? Who would have thought? Okay, so then, based on what we've said and felt about it, I think it would end up in Tay-Zonday then, right? Above the Payday and the Hershey? Would you say?
Yeah, that feels right, actually.
Yeah. Yes.
You nailed it on the first try.
Well, unfortunately, I haven't gotten a chance to try it, but some point we'll put it
The
on
first try to place it.
the list. Yeah. Okay, and then take 5. Let's just finish the Reese's on this list. Let's go with Reese's Take 5.
Oh, okay. That's crazy to me. I've had a Take 5. I think it's a really good candy bar. Remember when it came out or became popular, and like I really liked it. But I didn't have it at Dwayne Reed, went to 7-Eleven, had it, and it said Reese's Take 5, and I was like, oh, this is like a mashup. Like, this is a special flavor. I didn't realize that it was like a Reese's Take 5, so I didn't buy it. But I have enough background knowledge to speak on it.
So it looks like it's got pretzel in the mix on the Reese's. Is that the only bit of change here? Let's see. 5 layers of sweet and salty goodness that doesn't ask you to compromise. Oh, this is definitely from the Hershey's website. I was like, why is Wikipedia like flirting with me? I was like, that's weird. It's crunchy pretzels, smooth peanut butter, salty peanuts, sweet caramel, all wrapped in silky milk chocolate. Grab this snack the next time you want to mix things up. All right. Take it easy, Hershey's. But, I mean, sounds good. I will take a Take 5. Like, that sounds really good. So
you've never had a Take 5.
I have not.
Okay, a Take 5 is delicious. It like, when did it come out? Can you like tell me the year it came out on Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Like a movie. When did that come out?
It introduced December of 2004.
Okay, and okay, so I was 13. That sounds right. Like, I remember when this came out.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, this is a win. This is a good product. The pretzels really like take it to the next level, and I feel like it was one of the first things that I had that like had that in a candy bar.
Yeah.
It's good. It's salty. It's sweet. It's got multiple layers of texture with the pretzels and the nuts. It's your classic. You know the chocolate. You know the peanut butter. So it just adds those layers. Take 5 is great. I don't think it has like the staying power though. Like in terms of the party test, you're gonna go buy a Take 5. Like,
right.
Maybe not so much. It's a nice surprise, but I'm never like going for it to the point where I like Take 5s and I didn't even know it was called a Reese's Take 5.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I feel like it sounds like in the Reese's treat of all the Reese's treats, it might not be in the top 3. And like, even though the taste could be the best, right? Because it has the added pretzel element to it. But with that being said, I feel like the Take 5 would probably still end up in the Tay-Zonday zone for me. Maybe in the bottom of the Tay-Zonday zone, but no. Or would it be it's just chocolate? Where would it go?
I think it's better than... I think it could be It's Just Chocolate, but I think it is a different tier than Payday and Hershey's, so I think it has to go to Tay-Zonday.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Maybe the back end of that's fine with me, but it's like... it's good. Like it's definitely good. And I actually think Take Five kind of stands alone, whereas like a Nutrageous does not stand alone from Reese's,
Yeah.
but a Take Five sort of is its own thing, even
Hmm.
though they call it the Reese's. So I feel comfortable where you have it on the screen
Okay.
now.
Yeah. So we'll leave it there. I feel comfortable with that as well. This is definitely on my next to buy though, for sure. From the new ones that I'm learning about today, I think I'm most keen on trying to take five. Um, let's see. Okay.
You know what? I want to add one more thing now that I'm thinking about the whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
Have you had a 100 grand?
I have not had 100 grand.
We Google 100 grand because I don't even know what to tell you it is. It's sort of like a thicker, like right, like kind of crunch but caramel
Yeah.
chocolate bar.
Let's
And
see.
this is an improvement. Like I feel like this is
Whoa.
similar. Chat, let me know if you agree, the whatchamacallit fans, if you know it take 100 grand. Like
Yeah.
it's got all of the textural elements. 100 grand is good, but like I would enjoy eating this more, and it sort of has that similar like thick, crunchy flavor, but it's lighter and easier to eat.
Let's see. Spoken as $100,000 bar until 1985 1986. Oh, it's from Ferrera Candy Company. Oh, I thought it was Ferrera for a second. It's chocolate caramel and crisped rice. It looks like it's too much caramel, Allie. It's
I,
like a binding agent of caramel.
that's my complaint about the 100 grand. It's like
Yeah.
too thick,
Like, is it stuck
and
in
the
your teeth thick?
yeah, and I think
Mm,
it's like harder to eat, and I think the whatchamacallit has like that same kind of texture vibe, and it has that sort of pull away feel with the
yeah.
caramel. But it's like I like this better.
Okay. 100 grand. These are some interesting names for candy bars. The Payday, the whatchamacallit, like 100 grand. Who would have thought?
You know what it's great for? Have you ever done or seen the like cards where they're like, "Congratulations, you did it," and like whatchamacallit, like you graduated from whatchamacallit college, and they have it on, and they're like, "You didn't have Butterfingers when you grabbed that
Oh yeah,
degree," and
with all
like,
the puns. Yeah,
"We
yeah,
love you," like out of this Milky Way galaxy, and da da da. Like the 100 grand's great for that. It's like if I had 100 grand, I would give it to you. Like those,
yeah,
like you're a little nerds, the nerds. Anyway, so it's good for that.
yeah. You know,
I
I'm.
snicker when I see you.
Yeah, that's the type of thing I'm gonna definitely get my hands dirty with. Is do that kind of stuff for sure. um, is there any other direction you want to go with these remaining four?
Okay, let's talk about Mr. Goodbar because I didn't even see that that was on the list, but I submitted it.
You did submit it.
And
I've never had it.
okay, so Mr. Have you had the like little nuggets? The like they're actually not nuggets; they make nuggets, but the little Hershey bars that come in the pack of Crackle, which is basically a crunch bar,
Yeah.
Mr. Goodbar, which is the chocolate with peanuts, the regular Hershey's in the dark. So Mr. Goodbar, I've only ever had it in that iteration. I think maybe once I bought the full size candy bar, but that little nugget is great. I think it's the
Hmm.
best one of the four. And it's just peanuts and chocolate. It's like Hershey's with almond, but with chocolate. It's an easy snack. I get excited when I see those four. I always go for that one. Um, it's probably for me, and it's just chocolate chips above the regular Hershey bar. It's like an
Yeah.
improvement to the regular Hershey bar. If you're a peanut fan, you can imagine having it. It's literally just peanuts with a Hershey's chocolate bar.
I agree with Shamus in the chat who says the packaging is so bad. When I searched this up, I was like, this looks like some dollar store nonsense, and then I realized it was Hershey's, and I realized it had peanuts in it. I was like, oh, this sounds amazing. So the marketing is horrible on this. The look I don't like, but I
Well, I
do
wonder
agree. Based on the read, it looks better than the regular.
it sort of fits the branding of the I don't know this, but I would guess that the Mr. Goodbar is most popular in that variety pack with the little nuggets.
Mm.
And in that case, like it fits the branding of the four of like the dark, the regular, Mr. Goodbar, and the crackle, all sort
Mm.
of just like a classic, like it's red, yellow, brown, and dark brown. Like those are your options. Or like silver and gold maybe is the milk chocolate dark variety. But so you know, it's a classic. It's that kind of like it's not new, it's not cutting edge, it's not trendy. It's your old reliable Mr. Goodbar.
So yeah, and the chat is disagreeing with me. They like the packaging. They like the old timey design, branding type situation. So I guess like maybe I'm just being a stickler because I'm used to seeing this left Twix, right Twix bullshit that I'm not appreciating the classic look to it. So You
I
know
mean,
what?
O. Henry is similar though,
It is
in terms of
similar.
the older
It just like
kind
it
of
looks
vibe.
more like explosive, like design wise, and the colors are jumping at you. And the O is like a red color, but then the Henry's like a different color. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I cared a lot about that.
I feel it.
Yeah.
So I mean, based on my description of it being just sort of Hershey's but with peanuts,
Yeah, I think
uh,
it's above regular Hershey's milk chocolate, but it's below Take Five or slash Nutrageous, which ended up in the bottom of the Tezonde, is where I would put it. Yeah.
I feel that.
All right. Yeah. All right. We're okay. Let's see. So let's just start wrapping these up real quick. So Milky Way, I've never had. I've never had Milky Way. Because I thought it was the Milky Bar. I thought it was Milky Bar like all the way through until this assignment.
I love that for you. A Milky I was a Snick I feel like you were a Snickers person or you were a Milky Way person growing up, and like my best friend growing up was a Milky Way gal and I was a Snickers gal. Again, the Halloween trade. She also went into Three Musketeers, which is who I was referencing before. Whoop. So for me, a Milky Way doesn't do it for me, which is why I have like a big bag of them in my cabinet right now. I'm a cupboard. I don't know. I'm like 100 years old, but it's a good candy bar in terms of like brand recognition and like being a staple. It's above Three Musketeers but well below Snickers, and I am not going to eat this, so
My
that
mind
I'm
is
not going to bin
blown,
it. But
Ali. So there are two variants: the global Milky Way bar, which is sold as Three Musketeers in the U.S., and the U.S. version, which is sold as the Mars bar elsewhere. So I have had Milky Way. It's the Mars bar that's next to
so
it
is
on
that
our
what that
list.
is? Because I've never had
Yeah.
a Mars bar.
Oh my god, that's insane. Because I was like, why are Mars bars here? So yeah, they're the same. Milky Way and Mars are the same thing.
I guess that
Wow.
makes sense. It's space,
Yeah.
Mars, Milky Way.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, wow. They're okay. Like Mars is fine. It's not nothing. I don't care about it. Like it's the lower tier of these things. Did you say Bingham for Milky Way?
No. I mean, I've been them in my life, but
Hmm.
I don't think they're been for me. In terms of like what I want to eat, it's just chocolate, and it goes between Mr. Goodbar and regular Hershey's.
Okay.
But I understand if you feel like it goes elsewhere.
I mean, it's like, Snickers and Milky Way went toe to toe, and Snickers won, in my opinion. So I want to disrespect this a little bit. I want to put it behind the Hershey's milk chocolate.
I
It's
think
like,
that's fine.
yeah, okay, we'll put Mars right there too because they're
I'm
the
much
same
more
thing.
likely to buy a Hershey bar, especially for the s'mores use,
Yeah.
than a Milky Way.
Well, we're at the last one now, Allie. We're at Butterfinger. Also, a chocolate I have not had. Yeah.
All right, I'm opening this baby up. I gotta show you
All
this
right.
because Butterfinger. You should watch. There's a video of someone making a gourmet Butterfinger. Um, because I've never understood. So this broke in half, which is perfect. I have never understood what a Butterfinger is,
Mm-hmm.
and it really is. After watching her make a gourmet one, it's just like the description is crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery. What does that even mean, right? It's really just like sugar, like
Mm-hmm.
candy sugar that's peanut butter flavored, wrapped in chocolate.
Okay.
I've always I always when I think about a Butterfinger, I'm like, I don't really like them. I don't like the
Mm.
texture of it. But when I have them, I do like them. But just something about here, it just what is that? Like
Yeah.
I don't even really understand it. But when you eat it, it's crispity, it's crunchy, it's peanut buttery. Like it's exactly what they describe it as.
Huh.
I prefer Butterfinger BBs, which I don't know if they're even made anymore. They're like levels of Butterfingers chocolate covered. Those I think are better.
So,
But a butter,
Butterfinger BBs? Oh,
yeah,
that's the first search here. Let's
it's
see.
sort of like the Bart's. I think Bart Simpson was like
Oh yeah,
advertising for them.
yeah. Homer Simpson's on this one that I'm seeing. Yeah, both of them are. I feel like I've seen that before. That looks
Yeah,
familiar for some reason to me.
check it out.
They kind of look more like Maltesers than the Whoppers did.
But they're not. They're not like any malt flavor. Maltesers are malt
I don't think so.
coffee.
Let's
You don't know.
let's
Okay.
find out what Maltesers
Um,
are.
these are like these have the Butterfinger inside them.
Yeah. Oh, Daquan already got the Butterfingers gourmet makes thing that you were talking about. Put the YouTube link in the chat. It's on top of it. So Maltesers are a British snack. Um, let's see. Oh wow, what first sold in the UK in 1937? They were originally aimed at women. I don't know how, how. Okay. The slogan is the lighter way to enjoy chocolate. It's consists of a spheroid malted milk center. Yeah, it is malt. Okay, that makes sense that
Okay.
the name has it. Okay.
But Liv in the chat is saying they're not malt. So can't
Huh.
keep up with the candy. But
Yeah.
Butterfingers to me are a class. People get excited to grab them trick or treating. Do I love them? No.
Do you
But
love them more than Milky Way?
yes, definitely.
Do you love them more than Hershey's milk chocolate?
Probably yes. As a candy bar on its own, probably yes.
Do you love them more than the Good Bar?
No, but I think Butterfinger gets the name recognition edge. Like I think most people, like if we're talking about a party snack, we're talking
Yeah.
about what you'd buy on your way home. Like I think Butterfinger has that.
Okay. Okay, so this is okay. We're here. This is the final list we have.
We've arrived.
It's crazy. We have 4 Chef Hershey's Kisses. We have 6 in the Tazon, 7 in the Tazon Day Zone if you include Nutrageous, which is not on there, imagely
Wait,
speaking.
Puya, really quick. Someone in the chat is saying that a crispy crunch is the Canadian Butterfinger. Have
Yeah,
you had a crispy
I
crunch?
pulled it up. I have had it.
Okay.
I haven't. It wasn't my go-to, but I wasn't mad at it. It was okay. Is how I ended up feeling about it ultimately. But also I had it once, so it's not like I have enough of an experience with it to really, and like it's been a long time. So I that's why I like, kind of like let you take the rating because I have no idea where I would put this without having tried it. Um, so I want to do this, Ali. I want to give the chat. Okay, chat. You have the choice of moving one item from Choco Later Fam up.
Wow.
Okay. Do you want that option? Yes or no? If it's a yes, we'll do it. If not, we're good. Or if you feel no, Wedgebrow, have a good day. Just tell me what. Keep them there. They're fine with it. They don't want the option for that. They're good with that. Is there anything you want moved? Yes or no?
I feel like we did great.
I think we nailed it personally.
I want to take a picture of this. I want to have this. I
Yeah.
feel like we really did a good job here.
I have been downloading these to keep because I
Oh,
noticed
good.
that they get removed in 2 weeks, and I was like, no, I did not spend time on this for it to go away. So, chat's mostly saying no. There's a couple people that have opinions, but for the most part, it's looking like a no. This has run 2 hours. This is officially the longest stream I've done, though. We're past 2 hours, which, Ali, thank you so much for making
I
it
warned
happen.
you.
No, I mean
I
I'm
told you
happy
this would
about
happen.
it. I mean this whole time I've been trying to keep it at a tight 2. But if there's anybody that I could easily go 4 hours toe to toe talking about this stuff with, it's you. So thank you for indulging me in this insanity today.
Indulge is the right word. I've had more candy today than I've had in a long time. I need to do something with it. This has been great, Puya. I love what you're doing here. I'm so excited for you. This has been a blast. I will continue to watch as you continue to bid things and top tier them. So Binham is going to be. Is that just the staple bottom now, or no?
Honestly, unless a funnier thing comes along, I think Binham has become a Puya stream thing, and we're gonna keep it. I think that's happening.
That's merch. That's ready for merch, baby. Get me a shirt that says Binham. I'll buy it.
On it. That you know what? That's the first thing we'll put out there from this stream. First thing, guaranteed. I quickly want to talk to everyone still here. There's a bunch of you who are still hanging out. Before you start jumping out. So for tomorrow, I have a new concept for Wednesdays. It's called Which One Wednesdays. I like to do that branding. So this is pretty easy. We kind of did this the first stream I did, where you asked me muffins versus cupcakes. I said muffins. Ali was not happy with me. That's what the concept is. It's going to be taking two things that are similar to each other and kind of going head to head and figuring out which one is the one you would pick. And me doing it alone, we'd go through 100 of them. That's not what we're doing. We're going to have, this is something that I want the list to continue growing. I want the suggestions coming in. So do exclamation feedback in the chat to get the form from Nightbot to talk about it. I have 2 guests coming on tomorrow. Neither of them have been on the show proper yet. So 2 new people. You'll find that out tomorrow. I don't want to give anything away, but it's gonna be a discussion. We're gonna find out what we think. We're gonna get some opinions out there, and we'll find out like the as far as the options go. I'm gonna write them all out tonight. I'm gonna put them in a hat, and then I'm gonna take it out of a hat live, and whatever comes out, that's the one we're gonna discuss and
I
debate.
love that.
So yeah. So which one Wednesday is officially starting tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Until next time, take care, sleep well, drink your water, enjoy your chocolate, and remember, Dove cleans your body and your soul. Good night.